Hello guys and welcome back to my channel for another episode of Hood Gaming's Tactic Tester. Today we have a monumentous day. We have the first subscriber slash viewer on the channel. Previously we've only ever had actual FM content creators, but this is the whole point of this series, is to get your guys superb tactics on to the series. I was contacted by a viewer. We'll go through and introduce you guys to him in a minute, but I was contacted by a viewer. Said he wanted to put his tactic to the test and run the gauntlet with Arsenal. And here we are today bringing you his tactic. So let's get into things. But first of all, a quick reminder of the rules. So guys, just a quick reminder of the rules then. All tactics must have a proven record of success and or achievement. All tactics will use the same team and fixtures for the test. In this case, it will be Arsenal in the Premier League. No transfers will be allowed to be made in either transfer window. Tactics will be loaded in and the whole season will be simulated in one sitting. And all points, wins, goals scored and win percentage will be collected and displayed at the end to find the best tactic out there. We've already had some incredible creators' tactics on our tactic tester thus far. So let's take a look at our current leaderboard. So last week saw Twitch superstar Mr. Diz put his 4-2-3-1 to the test. He managed to pick up 2 trophies and finish 4th inside the Premier League with a 75 points, 119 goals scored and 49 goals conceded, which is a very good return, just at 1.98 goals per game, and that's 63.33% win ratio. And today we welcome a new creator, or not even a creator, we welcome a new person onto the channel, someone who's not appeared on here previously. He is a viewer to the channel. So without any further ado guys, let's get into who this person is. So then guys, today I will be introducing you to Mike Bridle. He is a viewer, I think, of the channel. He managed to contact, or reached out and contacted me over on Twitter and wanted to put his tactic to the test. It has been doing fantastic for him in his save, and he wanted to see how good the sort of like plug and play element of his tactic would be. So we are here again. We are back at Arsenal, as we always are at the start of these tactic testers. We jump into the tactic, we load the tactic. As you can see, he has labeled it here as York Alona, from his save with York, I would assume. And this is the shape. As I said, it's very similar, very similar to mine. My formation, which, you know, did finish 2nd in the Premier League, I'll have you know. But this is what he's running here. Sweeper, keeper, wing backs on both sides, both on support. Ball playing defenders on defend, centre back, deep line playmaker on support, Mazzala on support. 2 inside forwards on the left and the right, both on support. An advanced playmaker on attack and a advanced forward. Obviously, he's got all the tactical custom instructions as well. I will say, guys, Mike has been generous enough to let me leave a download link for this tactic down below. So if you do want that, make sure you head down into the description. And whilst you're down there, guys, I will also leave links for Mike down there, his Twitter and stuff like that. So make sure you hop over there. And if you are going to use this tactic, make sure you do let him know. So before we do simulate the whole season, what we usually do, guys, is we get into a quick pick. We get the assistant to pick the starting 11 as things are right now. So we will quick pick, and this is the team that has been picked, just so that you guys can put faces to the positions. Leno in goal, Bellerin holding Gabriel and Tierney. Thomas Partey is the DLP, and Ceballos as the Mazzala is actually quite good. Aubameyang on the left-hand side, Saka on the right. Mesut Ozil in the hole, and Alexander Lacazette up top then, guys. So this is kind of what you would expect. Sometimes you may see Willian or Pepe in this position of Saka right now. But we shall sim the whole season, guys, and I will be back once the season's done to review this tactic. So then, guys, here we are at the end of the season, and I cannot believe it. We finally have a team that have won the Premier League. 88 points isn't the top points return that we have seen, but obviously Liverpool have had a ropey season this year, finishing down in 3rd. We've seen Liverpool, we've also seen Manchester United clock up as many as 100 points in this simulation previously, but Mike's tactic has come out on top of the Premier League. Currently at a B+ here, so I don't know what has really happened to make it a B+. You'd like to think if Arsenal won the Premier League, the manager would have full support of the board, but you never know. Top goal scorer is Lacazette with 46 goals, a massive impressive return there. Maitland-Niles actually, highest average rating of 7.27. Pepe chipping in with the most assists of 18. Gabriel with the best pass completion. Most player of the match awards goes to Lacazette with 8. Obviously, scoring 46 goals is no shame at all. And David Luiz is the highest booked player at 15 yellow cards. Again, no real surprise. And then David Luiz, Maitland-Niles, Rob Holding, and Granit Xhaka all picking up 1 red card apiece. So, managed to win the Premier League. How did Mike's tactic get on in all the other competitions? Oh, what a season this is for Arsenal, by the way. What a season this is. So, champions of England, winners of the FA Cup. So, they've done a domestic double. Runners up in the Europa League as well, which is really tough. Unfortunate to lose that in the final. It'll be interesting to see who that was against. We've also got the semi-final, knocked out in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup by Liverpool, and obviously runners-up in the Charity Shield. Again, that will be losing to Liverpool. All across the board, this tactic is phenomenal, isn't it? Winning the Premier League, runner-up, winner, runner-up, semi-finalist. I think, guys, just looking at things, I think this tactic's going to be up there. So let's jump into the schedule and see how we got on. So first game of the season, obviously, is the Community Shield. It is at Wembley. Arsenal losing that one 2-1 to Liverpool. 2 goals from Sadio Mane being the deciding factor there. And look at this start to the season, guys. Absolutely unreal for September and October. Winning all the games there. Only conceding 2 goals in the month of October. And they both came against Leicester City. But Arsenal scored 8, so it doesn't really matter, does it? And 2-0 against Leeds, Asana, Southampton. 3-0 against Wolves. 1-0 against Palace. 2-1 loss to Tottenham is a tough one to take. Let's take a look at their Euro group. Real San Sebastian or Real Sociedad coming through as well. Asana and this team here who I've never heard of. Don't even know what country they're from. They're from Hungary. Okay, you learn something new every day. Not putting up a lot of competition. As I said, this unfortunate 2-1 loss here to Tottenham away in the Premier League. Arsenal fans will be a little bit peeved about that one. Losing 2-0 to Chelsea. Maitland-Niles getting sent off, but it was already 2-0 at that point. Losing to San Sebastian at home as well is very, very interesting. Alexander Isak is a good forward, though. So there you go. So we move into December again, starting to right things here. Beating Burnley is, believe it or not, is tougher than you would think. They get the revenge on Tottenham in the home fixture at the Emirates. Managed to absolutely batter Manchester City 4-0 at the Emirates as well before drawing 1-1 at the Etihad just a few days later. Month of January looks pretty good again, losing at home to Liverpool in that Carabao Cup semi-final. Goals from Mane and James Milner, the difference there. Then they put a nice little run of results back together again. Wins against Scunthorpe in the FA Cup is kind of what you would expect. Beat Southampton, beat Leeds. Unfortunately, lost to Everton. That is a tough one away at Goodison. Managed to return the favour on their Merseyside opposition by beating Liverpool 2-1 at the Emirates. Absolutely battering Leicester 4-0 away from home. These late goals, 87th, 93rd and 94th. Obviously, Leicester were pushing for an equaliser there and just got caught out. Really good month in February, actually. Beating Wolves, Manchester United, Barnsley in the FA Cup. Unfortunately, losing to Sheffield United in the Premier League. That's a very weird one, that. Very, very weird one. Obviously, they are away from home, but you never know. Managed to Europa League first knockout round. FC Copenhagen beat them 2-1 and 4-1 in both those games. In between beating West Ham, this is always one that seems to stump a lot of teams in a lot of formations. This game against West Ham in between the knockouts of the Europa League. Finishing the month off with a solid 4-2 victory against Arsenal. Another really good month of March and April. Good Lord, March and April absolutely flying. I just want to kind of see what happens at the end of the season. Beat Slavia Prague, what's that, 7-2 on aggregate. Draw with West Brom, not the best, not the worst. Team obviously not firing there. Want everybody to be fit for the game against Slavia Prague in the Europa League. Beat Liverpool twice this season. Didn't manage to beat them in the cup competitions, but beat them twice in the league. Very good to see. Beat Brighton, beat Birmingham, moving forward. 6-0 against West Ham. As I said, West Ham are one of the tricky teams in this save. Villarreal in the quarterfinals of that competition. They easier run in the FA Cup with Sheffield Wednesday as the semi-final opposition. But if you look at this, guys, the month of April, they conceded 1 goal to Sheffield Wednesday. Into the Europa League semi-finals, and they played Celtic in the first, in that instance. PSV go through against Napoli 4-2. So they lost to PSV in the Europa League final. That's going to be an interesting one to see what happened there. Arsenal go through against Celtic with the 4-1 aggregate victory, obviously getting the job done at the Emirates, winning that one 3-0. So then, who did they face in the FA Cup final? That's what I want to know, and what happened towards the end of the season. So, lost to Everton twice in the season. That's very interesting. Lost to Chelsea twice as well. David Luiz sent off in that one, and Olivier Giroud getting the all-decisive winner in that one. Beat Manchester United 5-0 in the FA Cup final. That is absolutely nuts. Rob Holding, Saka, Willian, El Neni, Eddie Nketiah on the score sheet there. Not even some of the big hitters. No Laka, no Aubameyang on the score sheet there. Drew 2-2 with Liverpool in the Premier League. Beat Manchester United at the end of the Premier League season, so they would have been handed the trophy at Old Trafford, which is nice. And then the Europa League final then, guys, lost 2-1, 92nd minute. Is that gone into extra time? I think it has. Let's open this up. Yeah, I think that is extra time. Let's take a look at the team formations then, shall we? So, as you can see, Mike Shape doing pretty well there. El Neni playing at centre-back, probably not the one. Xhaka and Partey playing well. Ozil seems to have done pretty well. Donald Marlin opening the scoring in the 3rd minute. Lacazette scoring 1 minute later to make it 1-1. And then they've got the winner in the 92nd minute in extra time then, guys. Well, this is a very, very good season. And as I said, I think Mike will be up there in terms of what he's done with these results. I've never seen so much green, I don't think. So let's go into the team report. We'll do a little bit of a breakdown using the analyst data. As you can see, guys, absolutely smashing it here. Goals per game, expected goals per game, all up. Conceded per game is also doing pretty well. And shots per game, as you can see, guys, they are absolutely dominating teams here. So if we go into the scoring, let's open the attacking efficiency. Arsenal, aggressive in terms of their amount of shots per game, and they're also very, very clinical. Only 2 teams more clinical than them in terms of conversion rate. So this is a good one for putting the ball in the back of the net. In terms of conceding, I think this is going to be a relatively decent one again. Opposition conversion rate is around 11.5%, and then they're allowing 7 shots per game. So they face fewer shots per game than the average in the league, which is good to see. We can see fewer goals than would be expected from the number of shots we face as well. So whilst they are giving up shots, they're not necessarily gilt-edged chances. And in terms of formations, guys, if we go to formations used, wow, that number's massive. Plus 94 in terms of clear-cut chances for and against. Plus 94, I think that is the highest number we've ever seen on this series. Creating a chance every 30 minutes and giving up a chance every 79 minutes there, and as you can see, it was used for 4,717 minutes. So in terms of formations faced, what does this one work well against? It works well against a 4-2-3-1 wide with a plus 29 and plus 22 against a 4-3-3 DM wide, which is absolutely incredible. Is there anything that it did sort of struggle? It's difficult to say struggle, but -2 against a 4-2-4. -1 against a 4-2. Oh, okay, so maybe 4-2-4 is this formation's kryptonite. I get that's harsh. That's harsh. It's absolutely battered everything in its path. Let's go into the squad then. We'll take a look at the squad super quick, and let's go across to let's see who played the most minutes then. Most minutes is Leno in goal, then Lacazette, then 23-year-old Brazilian, that's Gabriel, then David Luiz, then Mesut Ozil, which is very, very interesting to see. Love to see that. And then in terms of goals scored, we have Lacazette on top, Aubameyang with 17, 13 for Ozil, which is good season. Also 12. Wow, he must have set up some good set pieces here. 12 for Gabriel, 11 for David Luiz. That's a great return. Some of these defenders getting all the goals here. Absolutely smashing it. 5 for Mauri. What's that? Oh, Mike, these set pieces, I hope they are part of the tactic, so it will be good for these guys to see. Pepe top in the tree in terms of assists with 18. Saka with 14. Maitland-Niles chipping in with 13 as well. Willian again 12, and then 10 for Hector Bellerin. Highest average rating of a player comes to Kieran Tierney, who you've not actually seen a lot of with his 7.31. Maitland-Niles looking like he had a fantastic season, 7.27, alongside Hector Bellerin. So it looks like the fullbacks are the key ones here. And then obviously probably the star man of the show is Ashley Maitland-Niles, having a very, very good season all across the board. So guys, that is it. We've done the review of the season. Let's get, I'll do some maths. Let's get into the table and see where Mike's tactic came up. So then guys, we have a new leader at the top of the board. Mike beats out GYR FM at the top of the leaderboard. He has a very, very good 73.85 win percentage. He's also got the highest goals per game that we've seen thus far as well, with a 2.58. There's not enough superlatives I can use to describe this tactic. Obviously, he did win 2 trophies. He was the runner-up in the Europa League, actually managing to, if he secured a treble, I think this would have been pretty much unbeatable. He won the Premier League, is the first person to do so in the tactic tester, securing 88 points, which is the second highest that we have seen thus far. 168 goals scored and only 52 conceded is just phenomenal, guys. So then guys, we have a new king at the top of the tactic tester leaderboard. I just want to say thank you to Mike for reaching out and getting himself on this series and putting his tactic forward so that we can put it to the test. We do have a new leader. I cannot believe it. This is, as I said, this is probably the most exceptional tactic that I've seen. Obviously, Mike was a little bit worried, a little bit apprehensive about how much of a plug and play it was, and obviously guys, you can see it is a fantastic tactic. So that's where I'm going to leave things now, guys. If you have a tactic that you want me to run on the tactic tester, do get in touch. I do have someone booked in for next week's tactic, but anything beyond that, please do get in touch. I'd love to have as many of you guys onto the tactic tester as humanly possible. If you have enjoyed this video and you have enjoyed this tactic, and let me know if you are downloading it down in the comments below. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new around here, and I'll be back tomorrow with another Football Manager video. Hopefully, I'll catch you guys there.